official hate here. Today I want to talk about why I feel like ABA as a whole, as one of the best arena games of all time, has fell into it fell in like a really bad way. I want to talk about how I feel like the game was very fun, but then like developers stopped realizing what made the game fun, and this is what led the game to crash down to such a low level. And really, just the game became less fun, and just like most times you get on the game, it's just a sweat fest, and like that's what kind of ruined the game. It's like casual playing made the game nearly impossible, because it was you ever playing a private server. If you try to go on ranked or anything else, you felt like you're just gonna be put in a sweat lobby for the people who are playing extremely sweaty, and just it wasn't really as like fun anymore, due to the fact is they've made so many new characters who are just completely broken. I feel like that's what kind of like ruined the dynamic of what made the game fun. And I feel like another thing was kind of annoying was going to private servers. Like, for example, there's been a lot of like fucking private server bugs, like how you try into a private server, you enter a code and you have to wait like 30 to 1 minute or so, and just really kind of buggy. Now, I would say the thing what really hurt me the most about ABA was just them releasing a bunch of characters who were beyond broken, to the point where it made the game unplayable if you fought against them, because they ruined the dynamic of the game and how it was meant to be. Because it went from a battle arena to a pretty much a 1v1 arena, where they made characters who were strictly made for one-on-ones, but then classify it as a battle royale, which in my opinion didn't really make any sense. I feel like the major thing what killed ABA so much was just, I feel like how the combat never evolved, and how characters never really got like nerfed, as to say, because they say they get nerfed, but then a nerf is just less damage, maybe a little bit more a longer cooldown, but then what makes a character broken has never been removed. For example, Isame, his ultimate allows you to make a massive bubble, and pretty much any tracking move gets cancelled out, because it's the water literally makes the moves go super slow. Unless you go into them, you pretty much can dodge all of them. And what a major thing that kind of made Kisame broken was due to the fact is, if you were doing one-on-ones or 2v2s or 3-on-3s, his ultimate would get everybody in there, and he can literally move the bubble around. And I feel like his ultimate would have been better if it was just like it was only in a certain area and you didn't have to fight it, like how his reservoir is. How his reservoir isn't like the whole entire map, it's only a certain bit, and he pretty much, his base relies on the reservoir. So thus, if he cannot be in the reservoir of his force skill, he's pretty much useless. But another character who doesn't have a limitation is Cell. His only limitation is ultimate, because his ultimate is really bad, in my opinion. He only has what, 2 good moves, in transmission and final Kamehameha, which one-shot someone if you're half health. What made Cell one of the most brokenest characters was due to combo blitz and psychic crash. Now, when it first came out, some people obviously know that you combo blitz, you can block it, except for the final move. It hits you down and it kicks you in the air and he does damage. So in the end, it's pretty much not a blockable move unless you miss it. If you miss the elbow to the back of the head. Psycho Crash. When this move, normally I didn't know at first you can block this move. I was very confused, but I found out you can block it. But this move you use it after using combo blitz, or you use Kamehameha if you do use combo blitz. And pretty much, if you knew how to play Cell, you can get someone a one-shot combo with Cell when he first came out. And that's what made him so broken, because his pick rate was so high on like ranked that you had to manually ban him. Because if you're playing on freeze, we have to literally ban Isame, Cell, and Ogon or Arlong, because Arlong, due to the fact that if he gets his ultimate, you pretty much lose, because he can stop time. And if you do your ultimate whilst he stops time, your ultimate gets cancelled out because you do no damage. And these characters would run amok until they added Tatsumaki and Mob, and these 2 characters were broken. Mob especially was the most brokenest character. He had 2 transformations. Both transformations were extremely broken, and he really killed the game. Then with the combat how it was being, how the combat has never changed to the fact that you can hold block whilst fighting, it just made the game more, it just made the game unplayable, because what's the point in trying to fight someone if they can just hold block and jump? They can hold block, they can dodge whilst holding block. I feel like that's what, in my opinion, kind of killed the game. And I feel like certain things about the game that could have made it better was just them nerfing broken moves, them fixing the balancing issue of what's been around. And I feel like certain things that could have been done on like day one could have been fixed were never fixed. That's the thing I kind of hate the most about the game. Now, for some people wondering why I don't talk about like Game Pass characters, Game Pass characters have always been broken. Like with Game Pass characters, I in my opinion, I don't understand why they added any Game Pass characters. It would have been better to just add Game Pass skins, but adding Game Pass characters was kind of like annoying because I wanted to get Manitoba when he was Game Pass because I was like, I'm not gonna buy him. When he came out, he was broken. Madara was broken. Goku Black was broken. Broly was somewhat broken. Yamamoto was kind of broken if you knew how to use him. And I feel like these characters were just... Whitebeard wasn't that broken, so Shanks was a bad character. But I feel like Game Pass characters were just very annoying, such as what was it? These two characters, Diavolo was actually kind of bad. He was actually a really bad Game Pass character. Dio is pretty much just like Jotaro, which I would say Pucci is a really underrated character who can literally just reset everything, even your ult bar. And if you're playing 2s or 3s and this character's still alive, you pretty much lost the game. And just like, I feel like what made ABA fun has been taken away due to broken characters coming out who are just ruining the game. Like, for example, like Saitama, where he goes his ultimate, you can't kill him. And it's just, I feel like it was kind of annoying. And I feel like if this game prioritized on what people liked about the game would have had a higher player rate as of right now. But yeah, that's my opinion about the game. I just wanted to get out how I felt about the game and how the game impacted me and how I loved the game. But due to the fact that the developers made the game terrible and just kept adding bad things, in my opinion, I just fell in touch with the game and just stopped playing it due to the imbalance and just how unfun it got. Well, I'd like to see your guys' opinion in the comments. So yeah, please like and subscribe.